Throttle Squad, Mike back from Wind and Wrenches, and today we're going to be putting on 21-inch front wheel. So stand by and yeah, I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so along with the 21-inch front wheel and the fender you just seen, first we're taking the stock one off and taking the stock fender off, putting this wheel on, and then the fender came with the spacer kit too, so it'll be the wheel and the fender will go together. And to taking the front wheel off, it'll be a quick time lapse, and then I will start to take off the rotors and the new ABS ring I'll put on this too. So the rotors and the new ABS ring, and then we'll go ahead and mount this up and get it all good to go. Alright, Throttle Squad, you just saw me take off the rotors off the old wheel, which is over there. Don't mind my dog. So I'm about to put the rotors back on the new wheel, but there is something you need to make sure that you get out of the old wheels are these spacers, and they go just inside the wheel here. They go right there. And you grab them out of the old wheel and make sure you put them back in this. They're like rubber spacers, but that's to take up the space inside the wheel there. And so your spacer, you need to make sure you get the right spacer on the right side, can fit in there just like that. So little sneak peek there of what's to come. So this is where I'm at. I got the wheel off. Obviously I got the, see, I got the old rotors there. I'm going to clean them up a little bit and then put these rubber spacers in the wheel right there, in the wheel there, and then put the rotor and the new, where'd the new ABS ring go? Oh, it's over there on the rotor. The new ABS ring on, and yeah, and then I'll start putting it back on. I will do a time lapse of me putting everything back in, and then me putting it back on. So I'll be right back. Like I said, I just put the other side on. I didn't show you this side because it's the same as this side, or the other side, but put the rubber spacer back in here, and then put red thread lock on the bolts. Use the drill just to get them down to the plate, to the rotor, and then I hand tightened them up, and then I went back with the impact and then just snugged them down, make sure they're all snugged down. Obviously doing the star pattern so it goes down evenly. And now, while I have the rotors off, or not the rotors, but the brake calipers, I'm going to change out the brake pads. I'm not going to film that because I've already filmed that before. So, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and swap out these brake pads, and then I will begin to put the wheel back on. So I'll put grease, a little bit of grease here. I'll grease up the axle, which is right there. I'll grease up the axle, I'll put it all back together, and then it'll be time for the new fender. So stand by for that. Okay, so I didn't change out the brake pads yet. I'm not going to film it when I do it, but I just took out the old ones, and then that way they'll slide back on the rotors easy, and then I could just throw the new brake pads in after I get this mounted back up. So now what I got to do is, hold on, let me pull out the wheel here. There we go. So I greased up the spacers on the inside and the outside. So I greased up the spacers, and they just slide in and slide out. So these are greased up. This is greased up. Put these back in there. You got to make sure they go on the what side you took them off, though, is what side they go back on. So just for future reference, this is a thicker one. Hold on, let me show you real quick. So the ABS ring side is thicker than the non-ABS ring side. So you can see that there. You can see that there. The side goes here, the ABS ring, and this one goes on the other side. So you got to make sure that those go back on the right side, well, the side that they came out of when it goes back on. So now I'm going to lower the bike down, grease up the axle, and put this wheel back on. So let me do that real quick, and I'll come back. I'm not gonna film putting the axle back in because I'm gonna slide the axle back in. But I'll come right back when I go to put the fender on. All right, I know I said I was going to come back when the fender was on, which technically I'm not wrong. I just didn't show you how to mount it, but I will go over it real quick. So the this was a two-person job, one because of the weight of this fender and the spacers you have to put in here. So the fender comes with the mount kit, which is these two. Where's my flashlight? Hold on a second. It kind of blows it out, but these two spacers right here, right there. There's one there, one over there. All right. So comes with longer bolts, as you see right there, and the nuts. So put the bolts through to hold the spacers on, and laid the. Then I held the fender over, and the wife put the bolts through and started the nuts, and then all I did was tighten them down. So all you do, two-person job. One person holds the fender, the other person puts the bolts through, and then puts the nut on the back, just enough to so the bolts don't slide out, and then you can let go and then tighten these bolts up, and that's it right there. Pretty clean. You see how much space I have between the fender and the wheel, and it's just super clean. So that is how you do a 21-inch front wheel. So any questions, anything, go ahead, put it down in the comments below, and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. But go check us out on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down here in the bottom of the screen, and go check us out on Teespring, link down at the bottom of the screen here and down in the description below, to get you some custom wind and wrenches merch. Yeah, so the video right here is the most recent video to put out. The video over here is the one that YouTube suggests for you, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and punch that subscribe button, and remember, always keep the shiny side up.